Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has finally arrived. What moment, you ask? Well, the one thing that's been on everyone's mind, what everyone's been talking about the past couple months.
Spot Bitcoin.
Spot Bitcoin ETF.
Bitcoin ETF.
We have, I think, somewhere between 8 and a dozen filings in front of this agency with regard to exchange-traded products around Bitcoin.
If all goes as we believe it should be going, we'll have a number of issuers come out of the gates at the same time. So you will have a number of options for investors.
I think in January, the approval of the spot ETFs is going to be a major catalyst that's going to definitely drive a demand shock.
The arrival of GBTC as a uplisted spot Bitcoin ETF, as well as spot Bitcoin ETFs more generally, is actually the beginning of an opportunity for the advised wealth market in the United States.
Yet again, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Bitcoin ETF Day again. But this one is, historical. And the journey to finally get here has been just totally Bitcoin. Here's Gary Gensler. Oh man, what's he gonna do? Red pill, blue pill, orange pill, what's it gonna be, Gary? Undoubtedly, the past day and a half has been the biggest clown show of all time. Absolutely hilarious. Hats off to everyone at the SEC. Way to troll everyone, Gary. And to display just how completely inept all these government institutions are. Not to mention, well, their hypocrisy knows no bounds. And I know after the SEC peddling all this misinformation, you're probably looking at me like, bull, is it approved? But hey, we got the official documents and we have an official statement from Gary Gensler from just now. That happened. ETFs are approved. You better buckle the up. We got a lot to cover. Let's get it.
Party, that party. Yeah, come and have a good time with G.O.D.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yes, Gary, we're all entertained, but let's continue where we left off. Oh yeah, which is right here. All 11 spot Bitcoin ETFs have been approved. They got the green light, and I'm not chucking your pull strap. Check this out. Now, this is the official document. We'll have that link below. And it was funny, one of the main ETF analysts put out a tweet that this wasn't supposed to have gotten out as soon as it did, but hey, this is what happens in Bitcoin, and lo and behold, here we are. iShares Bitcoin Trust, Valkyrie, Invesco, Franklin Templeton, all of them, all 11 guys, have been approved.
This is the most important year for Bitcoin that has ever existed. We are probably days away from a series of ETFs being approved. And so this is the moment for Bitcoin to use that old term, cross the chasm and really see mainstream adoption, where our parents and our grandparents understand what it is, can buy it, and then do buy it. And I think that if all of this comes to pass, Bitcoin will be a part of the traditional financial lexicon by the end of 2024.
And however intriguing it would be to go through that full 22 pages of the report, that is down below for you. Be sure to check that out. And we've got some segments from that on the Simply Bitcoin Twitter, so be sure to check that out as well. At the end of the day, this stupid document is 22 pages. The Bitcoin white paper is 9 pages. Get your shit together.
The move of institutions into this new asset class, and that is what we are talking about here, a new asset class, which with another diversifier, institutions can increase their returns per unit of risk because of the low correlations. I think that's going to be very appealing. And if institutions with trillions of dollars under management just put 0.2 or 0.5% in, that could really move the needle. So we think the move has been anticipatory, and it makes sense. It makes sense. There's a scarcity value now evolving. It's becoming a scarce asset at 19.5 million Bitcoin outstanding. It can only go to 21, and 15 million of those 19.5 million are in what we would call strong hands. They haven't moved their Bitcoin in the last 155 days.
You still don't believe me? You probably was Samson And I don't blame you, because they have been completely out of line the past few days. These are like the best and brightest in their fields or something or whatever. But here we go with Samson Mel. I will not believe the Bitcoin ETF is approved until Gensler posts a selfie holding today's newspaper while wearing a hat that says it's approved. Okay, we don't have that. But we do have this. As the worthy adversary, Gary, head of the SEC, issued an official statement discussing the Spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And right before we just started cranking this episode, it went live on the SEC site. Let's take a little look-see at what Gary had to say. All right, now let's go ahead and get into this. Today, the commission approved the listing and trading of a number of Spot Bitcoin exchange-traded product shares. I've often said the commission acts within the law and how the courts interpret the law. Beginning under Chair Jay Clayton in 2018 and through March 2023, the commission disapproved more than 20 exchange rule filings for Spot Bitcoin ETPs. One of those filings, made by Grayscale, contemplated the conversion of the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into an ETP. We're now faced with a new set of filings similar to those we have disapproved in the past. Circumstances, however, have changed. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia held that the commission failed to adequately explain its reasoning in disapproving the listing and trading of Grayscale's proposed ETP. The court therefore vacated the Grayscale order and remanded the matter to the commission. Based on these circumstances and those discussed more fully in the approval order, I feel the most sustainable path forward is to approve the listing and trading of these Spot Bitcoin ETP shares. Let's go ahead and get down here. Importantly, today's commission action is cabined to ETPs holding one non-security commodity Bitcoin. It should in no way signal the commission's willingness to approve listing standards for crypto asset securities, nor does the approval signal anything about the commission's views as to the status of other crypto assets under the federal securities laws, or about the current state of non-compliance of certain crypto asset market participants with the federal securities laws. As I've said in the past, and without prejudicing any one crypto asset, the vast majority of crypto assets are investment contracts and thus subject to the federal securities laws. I think Gary just reminded everyone, if it ain't Bitcoin, it's bullshit, it's a security. Go f yourself. But hey, we're not going to go through all that. The rest of the statement you can find down below in the show notes. Let's proceed.
And so now what we could potentially see is these large institutions investing tens of billions of dollars into the Spot Bitcoin ETFs, which will drive demand for the underlying Bitcoin. When you couple that with Bitcoin supply, which is fixed at 21 million, it's not really difficult to see why the industry is excited about the potential moving forward.
Now, going back to earlier, we can see it was Seifert pretty much guaranteed the SEC did not intend for anyone outside the SEC to get their hands on this document, yet he himself can confirm that he downloaded the document from the SEC.gov website, and it is an approval order. These bad boys could be trading tomorrow. This is a pretty good one here from Corey. 11 financial products specifically designed to end the Fed have just been approved for launch. This is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, but that is not the revolution. Things are extremely bullish. Blackrock may break the first day flow record with a possible $2 billion asset injection on the first day of trading for its Spot Bitcoin ETF, according to BI's senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas. Seed funding could combine with grassroots interest to give it momentum in a race that includes up to 11 ETFs that we think could gather as much as $4 billion on the first day and $50 billion of assets within the first 2 years. Guys, we have been trapped in Schrodinger's Bitcoin ETF for I don't know how long, but now we're finally here. And now the real race looks like it's going to begin tomorrow. Hats off to everyone who is, especially Seifert and Balchunas tracking this, sending out the signal these past 6 months, and especially this circus of the past 2 days. Ladies and gentlemen, we're free. And it had to be in the most Bitcoin fashion. I'm a generous God. Yeah, Gary, you freaking Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. In some ways, we're now ending an era and entering a new one with new levels. There's new devils. And a Bitcoin ETF at the end of the day, that's like a paper claim on Bitcoin. You don't get to enjoy any of the real privileges of Bitcoin without taking self-custody. And if you need help getting started or looking to get your Bitcoin off of exchanges and want to follow best practices, we got just the guys to get you covered. Simply Bitcoin Originals are powered by the Bitcoin Way. And as your dedicated Bitcoin IT team, the Bitcoin Way is here to guide you from start to finish on your journey to properly self-custody your Bitcoin. What's more, they've recently introduced 100% focused collaborative custody services where you'll benefit from advanced multi-sig security, inheritance planning, and much more while remaining 100% in control. Looking to get started? Book a free 30-minute call using that link below. Guys, it is here. The ETF is approved, and they're going to be trading tomorrow. Prepare yourselves and get ready for those phone calls.
I said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm going to throw you in the fire!
We just got the ETF, you little bitch. Oh, you want to talk now? Now you want to talk? Oh, so now that Gary said it's cool, I'm good for you? Huh? Who is buying the top now? Huh? Buy my bags, you normie boomer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're winning in a major way. We got to keep up the pressure and stay ever more vigilant, because now the Blackrocks of the world are in the game. Skin's in the game. They're going to want to win, and they have certain levers that they can pull, of course, to benefit themselves. But if you don't want to be rug pulled by Larry Fink, you take self-custody of your Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, 2024 is going to be one of the biggest years, as Kathy Wood said, in the history of Bitcoin, in the history of finance. And as we are all here, the confluence of events is now. The perfect storm is now. The ETF is here. FASB's done. In BlackRock's prospectus, it said, they're going to allow banks to give their clients exposure through their product. Those are all the check marks off Michael Saylor's list that would send Bitcoin to 5 million. In the grand scheme of things, guys, we are just scratching the surface. And would you look at that? The halving is just around the corner. Man, I hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to like, subscribe, share that Sound Money gospel. Check out the links below. Follow us on Telegram and Twitter, where we're getting all the latest breaking news. Set those notifications. Keep tuning into Simply Bitcoin, your #1 source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. But man, a lot of exciting developments. A lot of exciting bullish developments. On to the bright orange future. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, fuck you.